Top 11 Supercars in America. Defining a word supercar may not be as easy as it may seem because the actual consensus on what constitutes a supercar doesn't exist. But one thing is for sure, when we mention supercars, we immediately think of power and speed. And that is all you need to know. Let's check out 11 cars that dominate when it comes to power and speed. Here are top 11 supercars in America. 11. Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. The Camaro ZL1 is a standout amongst the most intense vehicles you can discover in the States. The 2013 model accompanies a supercharged 8-barrel motor useful for 580 torque, while the purchasers have a decision between a 6-speed manual and 6-speed programmed transmission. The ZL1 in the name implies that the Camaro accompanies magnetic ride suspension and performance traction management. 10. Dodge Challenger SRT 392. The third-age Dodge Challenger touched base in 2008 while the SRT 392 motor was offered 3 years after the fact. The SRT remains for street and racing technologies, though the number 392 imprints the removal in cubic inches. The 5-speed programmed and 6-speed manual transmissions are offered, though this Challenger accompanies colossal Brembo brakes and stiffer suspension.
9. Dodge Viper GTS. The Dodge Viper GTS that was presented in 2013 is outstanding amongst other supercars in the States. The Viper GTS packs a 640-volt motor in the engine, and when it is associated with a 6-speed manual, this auto can achieve 60 miles per hour from a halt in 3.7 seconds. A portion of the highlights of the Viper GTS incorporate movable suspension, projector headlights with light transmitting diode DRLs, progressed electronic strength control, and non-freezing stopping devices.
8. Falcon F7. Falcon Motorsports displayed the Generation F7 at the 2012 Detroit Motor Show, and this vehicle depends on a gas-welded aluminum body. The GMLS7 power plant conveys 620 pull, and simply like some other little car makers, Falcon hasn't built up their own particular motor. All things considered, this didn't keep them from making a standout amongst other supercars that can quicken to 60 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds. 7. Fisker Karma. The Fisker Karma was introduced at the 2008 North American International Auto Show. This vehicle is furnished with a 4-barrel turbocharged motor useful for 260 horsepower, and it is joined with 2 electric engines that deliver 120 kilowatts and are provided by lithium particle batteries. The best speed of the Fisker Karma is restricted to 125 miles per hour while it goes from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.3 seconds, which is a decent outcome for a more than 2-ton auto.
6. Ford GT. The Ford GT is a 2-seater that was enlivened by the GT40 hustling autos which were prominent in the 1960s. The GT we are discussing was underway for a long time in the mid-2000s, and amid that time 4,038 illustrations were made. A portion of the prominent highlights of the Ford GT are aluminum body boards, roll-reinforced floorboards, aluminum motor cover and aluminum Brembo calipers. The motor is useful for 550 horsepower.
5. Hennessy Venom GT. Curiously enough, the Venom GT is a mix of a little body and monstrous motor. The body shell originates from a Lotus Exige, though the motor is an 8-barrel twin turbocharged and it is mated to a 6-speed manual transmission. Just 10 autos every year are created. 4. Roshan Q1. In the event that you are new to the Roshan Q1, it is fine. In any case, you should realize that this auto quickens from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.2 seconds while a twin-turbo V6 motor appraised at 450 horsepower lies in the engine. This unit is mated to a 6-speed manual gearbox. 3. Saleen S7. Saleen S7 is a handmade vehicle, which makes this supercar significantly more marvelous. Be that as it may, much the same as some different models on the rundown, this model comes in restricted numbers. The motor that was at first utilized created 550 horses, while, in 2005, the S7 got another power plant that conveys 750 horsepower. This permits the S7 to achieve 248 miles per hour and quicken to 60 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds. Astounding. 2. Tesla Model S. Tesla Model S is an electric auto, and to see it among these supercars discloses to us a considerable measure about this vehicle. This EV accompanies a 416 horsepower electric engine mounted in the back and a solitary speed-settled rigging transmission. In addition to the fact that this is demonstrate quick, yet it is likewise protected, it earned 5.0 general rating by the NSA. 1. Vector W8. The Vector W8 isn't an auto you will see frequently. The organization created just 22 models, and that was route back in the mid-1990s. The W8 utilized a back-mounted Chevrolet 8-barrel useful for 650 drive. The best speed of this auto was 220 miles per hour, while it took just 4.2 seconds for the W8 to go to 60 miles per hour.